What's up, Spiritualites? It's your boy Crypto Spiritual here. Welcome back for another weekly recap where I will break down the week of December 7th. Start with the weekly overview, give you my stat sheet, review my favorite win, my favorite loss, talk about some systems and improvements that we need to make, and oh boy, is there a big one. And then we'll talk about some of the real life things I got hit with this week. We'll wrap it up with our focus on next week and what I'm going to do to try and improve. With that being said, let's jump right on into it. So, Monday. Started off with two losses again, just like last week on my Monday. The first one would come right here on Bitcoin. Thought I was going to get a breakthrough this level. Did not. As you can see, it went against me. The second one would come on Solana, and that one comes right here. So same idea, saw it break through the level, so I thought, oh, I'm going to have some more continuation. Ended up making it to where I wanted to make it to, but I didn't have the correct stop loss, and we'll review that one later. So after those two losses, my morale was a little bit low. Thinking it was a YouTube bad idea, just coming on here to show you guys loss after loss. But I stayed in it, and I didn't give up. Still waited. I saw what I wanted to see a little bit later in the day, and here's what I ended Monday with as a win. So I gained some confidence, was proud of my patience through that trade. So I wake up on Tuesday, I'm all ready to go, and then boom, the market completely takes off, leaving me no opportunities to enter, maybe a small one here, but I didn't even have a trade that I was looking at to be able to put it into the tracker by the time it just starts shifting up and up and up and up and up. And so at this point, I'm deciding, hey, I don't want to try to catch a falling knife. I don't want to short to try to play a pullback if I don't know where it's going to happen. So as you can see here about noon, I'm just kind of following along on the trend. And I'm not really seeing a clear indication of whether I should continue up. I don't know where it's going to stop, this downtrend here. So I decide, hey, I'll stay away from the market for the rest of the day. What I did do about 10 o'clock at night is I put in a ghost trade. So I didn't actually take this trade. I just wanted to see if my idea would have been correct. I was getting some of those red highlights down here. So I was like, okay, let me try something. I woke up in the morning and it would have worked out. So maybe should have been a little bit more aggressive, but rather patience, not losing is almost as good as winning. Not quite, but I'll take it way more than losing. On Wednesday, we had our Fed day, where the Federal Reserve was going to determine the interest rate hike or cut, which they ended up cutting 25 basis points. But I decided, hey, maybe I should stay out of the market. Getting a lot of chop. I saw this here peak. I woke up and got to the charts right on time, so around 8:30. So I'm right here and I'm seeing, okay, it's just chopping back and forth, and I see this and this and this. And then it gets a break. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, even though it's Fed day, if I can get out of this trade by 1 or 2 o'clock before the Jerome Powell comes on, then I should be okay. No, I was not. Lost that one as well. So I knew that I shouldn't have been in the market at all because I know it gives fake breaks all the time. But something in me just couldn't resist after sitting on the sidelines all of Tuesday, waking up with a trade that would have won. And so Thursday, I've got work, so I'm looking at the markets all morning, seeing if there's anything I can do. I see this very choppy price action, this little V that the price made here. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's going to be something that I can get in after that. But at 10:30, I'm starting to get ready to go to work. So I say, hey, let me just leave it for the day. As soon as I get to work, around 12 o'clock is when the market, you see, starts marching its way up, marching its way up. So would I have played something on this V bottom? Would I have played something on this V bottom right here? I don't know, but it would have been nice to be in front of the computer to find out. So missed out on an opportunity because of work, but hey, it is what it is. Here's all this Thursday into Friday night price action. And so here's where I'm getting home from work and I'm saying, okay, let me just take this little ghost trade again. Did not take it on my actual account, but did put it in. And as you can see, it did end up working. Got a lot of volatility at the end of the day, or at the morning here on Friday. So as I'm waking up, I'm noticing, hey, what happened to that trade? It won. So I don't know. Maybe should have taken that trade. Maybe should have looked at it closer. But again, it was after work. I was about to get to bed and just wanted to throw something on the chart. So as I'm starting to get ready for work, I see this trend happening. It's going down. And so I'm really thinking, oh man, I wish I could get into a short here or find some space to get in. So I stayed in the charts a little bit longer, almost to about 11. And I almost took this trade here, but because I was getting some divergences, as you see the RSI dip low here and did not dip as low here, but price went lower. So I was thinking I might have a reversal on my hands, which ended up not happening, but I would have to wait, all the whole weekend to finish that trade. So not really too concerned with that. However, I did take a look at Solana, which there's my loss trade on Monday. But if we go to Friday, you can see I had this trade here that I was confident in. It did not give me the score that I wanted. Structure wasn't quite there. I think that was kind of the missing component, or else it would have been a good trade. As you can see, it did work out. So another one of those ghost trades that couldn't take, but ended up working out. So realistically, I lost 3 and 1-1, but on those ghost trades, I actually won all 3 of those. So this gets to your confidence a little bit and lets you know, hey, at least you're on the right path. But the ones that you actually did take did not work out this time. So let's move on to the stats. All right, so here's my stat sheet. As you can see, I've got my 3 losses and my 1 win. So just for this week, I netted about minus 0.5%, a little bit less than 0.5%. But all my trades over here were A's. I know 85 and 80 isn't usually an A, but the way that it made the scale was to kind of even it out. So 80 and 85s are now A's. But either way, I'm looking at the main raw score. All right, so if I take that average, my average was 85 for the week. That's not bad. It's not a bad average. So as you can see, my win rate is 16%, still not good, still on the rise. My average score is rising. It rose up to 77. And my average multiple is not at a negative 0.3 or something. It's at a negative 0.27. So these stats are rising. It is the beginning. I've taken less than 20 trades so far. So I'm not too concerned with these stats. They will start evening out as I take more trades. So we'll just have to wait on the statistics to hope they look better in the future in the weeks to come. So here was my favorite win of the week. What I noticed was price was trending upward, upward, upward. And then I really started to get some high levels on the Z-score here, which made me think, hey, this is where the turnaround is. I take a look at my long-term trend. While we were going down, we had our brief moment of going up here, up, up, up. But now price is drastically falling off. And while this could be just a retrace down for another leg up, which it did end up being, I felt that the reversal would be at least enough for me to get in. So I caught this down here about 5 o'clock. I was a little bit nervous because there was some imbalance here and the price did not retrace all the way to cover this on the way up. So when it broke this low, I wasn't super convinced. When it did break this low here is when I did feel a little bit more comfortable about the trade. The RSI was on my side. Volume was trending upward. Getting the highlights on the 0 also being at almost 5 was definitely indicating some kind of reversal. Then the level here was right in, and now I don't really do smart money concepts, but I am aware of them because I know other people trade them, and this market is just full of different participants trading. So if there is some level that other people may see as a key level, I'll include that in mind, even though I don't usually trade order blocks. So we had an order block here, and if you want to go learn about order blocks, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But we had a space here where price could reverse. Again, I don't play it too much, but when I did see the reversal come and then this level break, it did give me some confidence that this was an okay level to be shorting from. I got in right about here at that change of character there. This was my line, so I got in really a little bit later, about there. I waited for this break, chose the level, got in, and in about 4 hours, I was out of the trade with a win. So I was going to bed that night around 10, 11, midnight, or whenever I went to bed with a win. I didn't get greedy. As for my favorite loss, that again comes from Solana, and that comes from Monday. Why this is my favorite loss is because it would have worked out had I chosen a better stop loss, right? But I did go with the immediate trend, so I didn't feel too bad about where my stop loss was and why it got stopped out. Sometimes that just happens. So again here, we were coming down, coming down, coming down. Now we seem to have started an uptrend, but there was enough space on the way down, especially after breaking a key support level, that I thought, okay, just a little bit more down and I can have a win. I did see the red highlights on my RSI signaling I could be having a bounce coming in. Got a little bit of divergence here, but I didn't mind it because of the key level that I thought was making this a little bit more prominent than a reversal happening at this point. So when I look at where this level was, it was right on top. It played as resistance a little bit here, played as support a little bit here, and then when we broke through, I thought for sure that since we had lost, it would act as resistance again, which it did, but maybe having a stop loss over this high right here. Had I moved the stop loss somewhere up here, I could have changed my entry point to be a little bit up further so I can still get my 2.5, and maybe that trade works out for me another day. Okay, that's why it's my favorite loss, because the idea was correct, the level was just wrong. And again, in trading, sometimes that happens. Moving on to the systems and improvements. Okay, it's time for me to be honest with you guys. I'm not liking the strategy. I know that I need to have more live trades to see more about my win rate. And if I share with you my back testing log, which I will in the next video, it's a little bit subjective. It's more about interpretation than it is about seeing something and knowing what to do when you see that exact thing. Right, I've got to interpret the RSI, I've got to interpret the zero, I've got to interpret the volume, what the volume means. It's never like, hey, volume is high, so this is what's going to happen. It's never, hey, RSI is low, this is what's going to happen. And so when I find myself taking some of these trades, I'm losing confidence in that it'll work. Even though the backtesting results say that it will, I'm having a hard time finding confidence in interpreting the strategy correctly. And so for that reason, I have been backtesting a new strategy, or just an alteration of what I have, really. And so I will be sharing that new updated strategy with you in the later coming videos. I will say that it's not fully developed yet, so I'm still using the strategy that I just showed you. However, I may be moving away from it in the future, or it may be being modified, and I will keep you updated on that. So more to come on systems and improvements, I promise, in the next video. I'll show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. I just wanted to share a little bit of my feelings so that you're prepared when the next one comes out. So I'm going to move on from that. I'll leave that on the table and save that for the next video, but just know something big is coming. As for the real life and the mental part of trading this week and being here for you guys on this YouTube channel, on Monday I felt like I needed to stop the YouTube channel. After those two losses, it really got to me, especially when this Solana trade didn't work out the way it should have. I was thinking that, hey, is this something that I want to be sharing with the world? Is this something that I want to continue to show, like, hey, loss after loss after loss, right? But what I noticed is it keeps me so disciplined. I mean, I have to do it. I don't get to take a day off. Not that I would want to or want to now, but I know those days come, and it really keeps me consistent in saying, hey, even though you lost those two, keep looking at it, keep setting a few alerts, keep your mind in it. And so I kept my mind in it, and I ended up Monday with the win. And so when I look back on Monday, as I was going to sleep, I was thinking, man, how crazy of an emotional ride that I just went on over just 3 trades, you know? Something else I asked myself was, do I really want to switch up my strategy? After posting a 34-minute long video, do I want to switch up my whole strategy and basically start from scratch? Another question I asked myself, the strategy was working before YouTube, right? I was trading it, using it before YouTube. Should I give it more time? And so all these mental gymnastics that my mind is putting me through, trying to figure out the right direction to go in, is all part of this journey. And I don't want to downplay that, because if you guys are going to start your own journey, it's going to be like this. You're going to have days where you've got to make sure that your mental is in a good spot, because if it's not, number one, you're going to lose money, and number two, you're going to give up. And you'll keep going on this roller coaster of losing money, giving up, starting over, losing money, giving up, starting over, you know. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stay focused, and I'm really battling whether to just completely drop the old strategy and move on to the new one. But enough of that. Let's move on to the mental game in real life that hit me this week. Real life, as far as work side, was pretty chill. I didn't have to work on Wednesday, so I got an extra day, but it was Fed week. So with that, I had to really be disciplined, and as you saw, I was not. I still ended up trading on Wednesday, which I knew I should not have, but sometimes we make those mistakes. So this upcoming week's focus is definitely going to be mainly developing this new strategy that I've been looking at, taking an updated look at my charts, seeing if there's anything that I can improve upon, seeing if there's something that if I just take a look at it a different way, come at it from a different perspective, then I can improve drastically. But I'm looking to take bigger steps at this point with the win rate below 17% is what I'm really kind of focused on. How do I win more trades? How am I putting myself in a better position to win more trades? And so this week I'll be focusing on coming up with some key factors so that I can create or begin to create, and don't kill me here, a new spreadsheet. So with that being said, thank you for coming to this weekly wrap up. Stay tuned for the next video where I show you some of the ins and outs of this new trading strategy that I'm going to use. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you guys are excited to hear about it. Please keep in mind that this is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only. Before you begin investing and or trading your hard-earned money, consider consulting a financial advisor. And just remember, this is the journey, not the highlight reel. Trade smart, live free.